Greetings once again. Welcome every single person on here. The name is Kojo, Blockchain Kojo. Before I want to get started, quick disclaimer, anything I'm going to share here is not financial advice. Personally, I'm someone who's very enthusiastic about crypto. I'm in my journey of learning how to trade as well and mastering the charts and all these different things. But in between that, we find opportunities where we know we are presented with a good case scenario of making passive income online without having to trade our time for money. And that has led us to where we are. We've heard so many people, the greats like Warren Buffett, they said you need to find a system that pays out dividends, right? Very important that pays out dividends. So that's why we are here. We're going to introduce you to an AI tech company that has built their own algorithm, right? So many people are used to the manual way of trading. You have to learn, you have to be fast, you take out emotions. And then now we have AI, we have technology, right? Some of you have heard technology, right? We have different ways now to use systems to achieve these same goals, right? So we're going to look at this company, what they're doing that sets them apart. Give me 1 second, allow some people to come in. Please, if you're a co-host, just do me a favor. If you see some people trying to come in, please let them in as well. Okay, great. Um, okay, okay, great. So Afix, right? This company is based out of New York. They have registered their company, got their license, went ahead and got their MSB, their FinCEN, what you call that, their Form D, right? Because you're going into the trading space where we would have to deposit funds. It's a platform where you deposit your funds and your software will trade. But the best part is that it's free, right? These guys, since the beginning of OpenAI, they have been following the same trajectory. They have built their own AI model. What is an AI model? Right? Many of you have heard about DeepSeek, right? Many of you have heard about OpenAI. These are generative pre-trained models, right? In which it can take anything from the internet, right? And it can you put all the information together, quickly analyze it, and present it to you faster than anyone would if they did it manually, right? So that is the model. And these guys have spent, maybe 20 plus $1 million to build their own model, which they call the TAC win system. On top of that, they have started to build AI assistants. If you're following AI today, you know the biggest conversations in AI is between AI assistants and AI agents. Okay. Now, when you look at their roadmap, is very extensive. It goes all the way into 2029, but real briefly, just looking here, we can see even in 2026, these guys have something planned as far as putting their money to support and sponsor the FIFA World Cup, right? So that is a huge thing, a bold claim for any company to make, knowing that the year is right around the corner. This company started November 15th of 2024. We are currently 5 to 6 months in. Personally, I started around December 7th, December 8th, and most of my community, my team, we all got started around the same time. So far, if you're here, I want to tell you that many people that have joined us, if not 70%, have already made about 100% ROI, right? Meaning that they've already got their capital back. A lot of them are at 2 to 3x already, right, in this period of time. So once again, company has done their job to be compliant. We can see the team. Once again, if you watched the video before, which is on the official website of NASDAQ, I will send the link out in this Zoom as well so you guys can have it. You will see Ford Cooper, our CTO, and our CEO, Mr. Gilham, invited to the opening closing bell ceremony downtown Manhattan of a separate company where we know these guys have a relationship from what we are seeing. We just know that there's two separate companies and they're not the same, right? Now, one thing about this ROI space, you want to look for a company where no everyone is not hiding behind the computer, right? They say we're on Telegram, you talk to the CEO on Telegram, you talk to the team on Telegram. No, that's not for us, right? We want something solid. So when we looked at this, these guys already started to go around the world. They put 20 plus million created their technology. They put another $25 million into airport ads. If you go to Dubai airport, you go to Mumbai in India, right? You go to Taiwan, Thailand, Singapore, Korea, even mainland China, which is almost hard to break through if you're doing anything borderline touching crypto. But once again, they're an AI tech company. They are in Indonesia. They're in all these international airports around the world. Just call anyone who lives there, say, go to the airport, spend 5 minutes there. And if you don't see this, let me know. They will show you pictures and videos where they will see different billboard ads of this company, right? So this is before they even asked anyone to put $1 in. They had put their own money where their vision, where their mouth is, right? And you want that from any company. So they're doing events globally every month around the world. Guys, every single month, this company is doing an event around the world, bringing out their team, explaining their vision, explaining what their roadmap is, and they're encouraging us to use their system. Once again, the AI tech is for free, right? The whole software, everything it does, the ChatGPT type of version, their AI assistants, right? All of that is free. No one pays for it, right? They have an upcoming event again in Korea, right, in the next few days, and then we have Malaysia, right? So if you're excited about these trips, you definitely want to ask the person that invited you. They'll tell you what is required to get there, right? Once again, we talked about the billboards, the airports. These are not just photos. We have people on our team. I had a very huge leader, right? He's sat on stage on many different companies. He's not in AFIX. He's joining soon, but he was on his way to Singapore for a different business, and he sent a message into a private group I'm in with some high-level people saying, "Hey, was this not the project Kojo was talking about, right?" And guys, that's the kind of evidence you want in any opportunity. You don't have to over explain yourself when all the evidence is right there, right? So this company created their own products, right? Very soon, they already have their AI assistants. Very soon, they will have an AI film and television production AI where you take scripts that you let the AI assistant write. You say, hey, I want to make a movie based on a basketball player this age or whatever. It will write a whole script for a movie. Soon, we'll be able to take that script, put it in this AI, and it would turn it into a movie. You would not find a single company in this passive income space that has built AI technology to this level, right? And they have more and more tech that's coming out as well. All of this is on their own algorithm, their own um what you call we call it an AI model, right? Just like DeepSeek, just like OpenAI, right? So how it works is that their algorithm will trade. We'll talk about that very soon. It creates profit for the entire fund. They have four different funds. We can earn as investors from 0.45% a day to 0.9% a day. Why? Because no matter what profit the fund makes, whether it's 2%, whether it's 1%, investors only get 45%. The rest of the funds generated in profits goes to pay VIP rewards. That's the compensation plan. And then the company's management fee, right? So how do we enjoy this profit? Now, if you have USDT, Bitcoin, right? In fact, we'll talk about multiple currencies that no one else is making available in this space. I've checked many protocols, DeFi or CeFi, and I've never seen anyone pay 27% a month on XRP. I've never seen anyone pay 27% a month on Dogecoin. Never seen anyone pay 27% a month on Shiba Inu. This is the amount of diversity this company offers as far as assets that they trade, right? But most people are, looking at USDT, Bitcoin, and Ethereum as the major players, and you can use those assets, right? You just have to choose the fund you're willing to take a risk. You're going to take your crypto, you're going to stake it. You're locking it up for either 7 days. Your capital is locked in. It returns back to you automatically. You don't have to request it. After your 7 day contract, boom, it's released to you. But your profits you get on a daily basis, right? Once again, please let the people that are just coming in inside the Zoom as well. Thank you. Right? On a daily basis, right? You get your profits, you can withdraw. 30 days. You can choose to risk for 30 days. You lock your crypto in or 90 days or 1 year. Okay. As you can see, the 1 year earns 2% a day. This is the highest earning contract they have. In fact, 95% of the people that are in our team today literally are all on the 1 year contract. Why? You double your capital in 111 days. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, but what I know from finance or investing 101, your entire goal is to figure out in any investment how long it takes you to get back the money you put in. And once you get back what you put in, you are literally what we call house money, right? People say risk free because now you have won, you have beat the entire game. The entire game is to be able to walk into the fire, into the room, the boiling room, and come out unscathed. And if you can do that, you have won, right? Whether it's in real estate, right, where we know there's no guarantees, it could be a fire, it could be a change in tax code. All of these things could take away profits. It doesn't matter what industry, right? I remember about 2, 3 years ago, my mom and I got into the supermarket business, right? We opened a local supermarket. Can you understand that we went into debt, right? Even though that is a traditional business, long standing, and everyone will tell you it's great and all these different things, but we lost, right? Because that is how things are. There's no guarantees. But when you have a system that allows you to do things passively without having to risk huge amounts of capital if you choose not to, or without being locked into an asset you can't get your hands out of. You have the choice, right? And that's what we appreciate from this company. So if you had $100, what could you earn? How would that process go about? It's pretty simple. You would get a link, right? You would need a link to download their app. This company does not run on a website. We're not investing on a website that can be shut off anytime that any 12-year-old can build today with AI. They have built an entire application running on an entire AI model, paying for their own servers to host their tech. That is a solid business right there, right? And what we do is that when you get the link, you download the app, you would need a invite code, and there's no KYC, just username and password. You have created an account. You would have a wallet in the app. You would deposit your crypto. Everything is on chain and instant as far as the deposits and withdrawals. There's no company control on withdrawals, no company control on deposit, right? It goes right into the wallets, and then it will reflect, I believe, within what minutes, if depending on what currency you're using. USDT is probably seconds, right? So that is what you do. You deposit your crypto. After that, you will go and choose one of the funds, either weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually, and you will deposit your crypto into the contract, and every 24 hours you will earn profits. That simple, right? So with $100, somebody could get started, right? Once again, it's a good amount to get started. It's not a high entry, it's not high ticket, right? You get in, you can either earn 0.45% a day or 0.9% a day. Same thing with $1,000, either $4.50 a day or $9 a day. You get to choose. Whether it's $5,000, you add $22.50 a day, or you add $45 a day, 0.9%, 27% a month, guys. This is without compounded. Every time you earn $100, if you're on any of these long contracts, you can then put it into another contract. Same account, multiple entries, okay? Or some people are choosing the weekly because their funds are small, right? So the smaller your funds, you might do the weekly. So after every week, you put all your profits together with your capital and you throw it all back in if you choose to, or you exit, right? Some people come in for 90 days, put in 100,000, make X amount of dollars, and just house some free money, just walk away with everything. You have the option, and that's what's important, okay? So that's how the earning system works. Whether you invest Bitcoin, you will earn 0.9% a day on your Bitcoin, not the dollar value, on your coins. Meaning that somebody can come in and in 111 days, if they started with one BTC, they will have two BTC. If they started with 10,000 XRP, they will have 20,000 XRP. This is without ever sharing a link or asking anyone to join or making money from referrals. This is just purely passive, right? Profits, once again, you can withdraw them as many times as you want, anytime in the day. there is a 5% fee on all profit withdrawals, right? So once you pull it out of the profit wallet into your wallet in the app, that's a 5% fee. When you send it out of the wallet, there is no management fee. It's just either $1 for USDT BEP20, $9 for TRC20, and I believe the other currencies have their own chain fees, right? So everything is just literally it's instant once you withdraw. Yeah, so that is the passive side of the business, right? But we all know that in this space, usually it's somebody else that's gonna have to tell you about an opportunity like this, right? Either from YouTube, either from a group, either your friend or a business partner calling you and telling you. So we know that there is an incentive to actually share, right? So that is the same incentive we have for sharing. You have the same incentive. Now, anyone at all can get started for 100. If you share your link with even one person who gets started, you now can hit the first rank. The first rank only requires you to have $3,000 in sales or volume or team investments, right? So let's say you get started, you send me a link, you send Gideon your link, you send Latif your link, you send Oracle your link, all these individuals together, we put in 3,000 combined, right? You're a VIP one. Maybe you just sent your link to me and I put in 3,000. You are a VIP one. Maybe you sent your link to me, I put in 100, but I sent it to Gideon. He puts in 100, right? But he sends it to Latif, who has more money. He ends up putting in 2,800. So combined in that one straight line is still 3,000. You're a VIP one, right? So we are getting paid off the profits generated from the entire volume in our organization, meaning this goes through infinity. There is no cap, right? The only cap is when someone else is at a rank below you, and then there is a difference between what you earn. So let me break that down. VIP one, you get 20% of what your team makes in profits every day. We get no direct deposit bonus, but you are guaranteed that whenever someone you have invited makes money, you will make money. And that is a solid business to be in, right? So your team makes $100 a day, you get $20 a day. They make $1,000 a day, you get $200 a day, right? As long as no one else is a VIP one. Now, VIP2, what they're saying is you need to have two people you have invited. Now, within those two people can have their own organizations. They can also share with other people. So within those two teams, if anyone goes VIP1, doesn't have to be a direct. If anyone within those two teams goes VIP1, on both teams, you're now a VIP2 as long as you have 10,000 in sales. Now, when we look at these numbers, some of you are, you've been in the industry for a while, you've been in affiliate marketing, you have good networks. This is almost nothing in this space. $10,000, right? You're talking about, other people who are coming together. So this is very doable. There's a lot of duplication going on in our team. There's a lot of success stories in our team because of this comp plan. You then get 30% of what everyone earns every single day. Okay. Now let me explain. You happen to be a VIP too. You shared with me. I'm one of your teams. You shared with Gideon. He's your second team. And you shared with Latif. That's your third team, right? So if my team makes $100 a day, you cannot receive 30%. You will get 30 minus 20. You would get 10% of what my VIP one team earns every day. Then on Gideon, which is your next team, you would also earn, if he's a VIP one, 30 minus 20 from his entire team, whatever they earn every day. So if they do $100 a day, that's another $20 a day for you, right? Then we'll take your third leg, your third team, Latif, right? He comes in, he's an investor. He decides not to bring a team. He's just investing. And let's say he makes $1,000 a day. At that point, you will get the entire 30% of every dollar he generates. Then you go into VIP3. At this point, your two users became VIP2, from separate legs, right? And then you have 30,000 in volume. So this is where it starts to get interesting for most people who have been in the space for a while. We say, look, your goal is to quickly run to VIP3, right? Because at that point, you have 40% to collect from any unranked legs. That's how I describe it. Unranked legs, right? You collect the whole um 40%. So if someone is a VIP two, if I happen to be a VIP two under you, well, my team can make a $500 a day. You're only gonna get 40 minus 30, 10% of what they make, right? And the same if someone is a VIP one on a separate leg, then you are at an advantage. It's 40 minus 20. You actually get 20% from that team. And then you have an investor who's making $1,000 a day wide, right? No rank. $100 a day, no rank. $80 a day, no rank. All of those investors pay you 40% of every dollar they make. This is where the money is being made, folks. And we have people we have seen already doing 70,000 a day, right? 100,000 a day. Within our team, there's a couple that joined us based out of Atlanta. You're doing about 6 grand a day combined, right? Husband and wife. Huge. It's only 5 months we've been in this project. 5 months, right? So now VIP four, you have 100,000 in sales and two VIP three users. You add 50%, right? So as even when you set it, you set the structure to win and you let time just pass, your volume grows, the structure maintains, your team is ranking up. You had 100,000 in sales. Now the same people, you never added no one else, right? You probably have the same investors. Now you add 50% on what they're making. Guys, it begins to grow, right? 300,000 in sales, two VIP four users later, you're at VIP five. Now you're at 60%. It could be the same $1,000 a day on that wide. Never changes, but now you're at 600 a day to the point where you get to 100% check match, meaning that for every dollar that anyone who's unranked is earning, you get 100% check match. Once again, if someone is a VIP 8, it's 100 minus 90, you get 10%. Why is that? When you add from this 20, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, the whole sum of the rewards is 100%. So it boils down to the next part. How is this company able to pay 100% check match, right? And if we're going to do the math here, it means that the company would need to make an equal amount of what they pay out to investors to pay out the VIP rewards. So if the AI produces 1% today, and we call that 1%, for example, $1 million in profits for the entire network, right? Investors, right? They're not getting the 1 million. Investors receive 450,000, 45%. And we all know this prior to even getting a link, right? So that's the level of transparency. They're letting you know how the money is made. We'll look at it in the app where we can track every trade, past trades, current trades, and live trades, and the exchanges where they are coming from. This is probably the only time I've ever seen anything like this in the passive income space of crypto ROI, right? Where a company says to your trading. I've never seen this level of transparency, and we'll show you in the app as well. So the VIP rewards, they are getting 50%, whilst the investors get 45%. So this tells you that this system is always going to put aside more money, 5% more than it will pay every investor. Why? Because they want to make sure they have more than enough to feed the compensation plan, which is one of the reasons a lot of different companies do not last because at some point, you know, the math doesn't add up, right? The inflows, the outflows versus what they're actually trading. If they are, it becomes so much that they cannot sustain, right? But here, they are letting us know beforehand how everything works so we can understand how this money is generated, right? So then, I think, so yeah, so with the ranks, right, there's one thing I didn't cover. There's something called reward limits. Now, your ROI will always keep earning until the end of your contract. It has nothing to do with the reward limit, except for the company looks at how much you have invested. So let's say I've invested $1,000 and I'm a VIP one. What they're saying is, okay, I'm invested, I'm earning. But if I want to keep making rewards for my team, the minute I'm done earning $1,000 in profits, it cuts off until I add more to my capital. So in a way, it's encouraging people to reinvest, right? To grow their own portfolio. And I'll show you why this works. And this is actually great for everyone, including the company. It's actually better for us more than the company, right? And let's say I'm a VIP too. What they're saying is, look, as long as if I have 1,000, I have a 2x limit. I can take as much VIP rewards as I want, $50 a day, $100 a day, 200 a day. But the minute I get to 2,000, they expect me to take some money and go put it in my capital and increase my capital, right? So I can grow my limit again. And that is a fair deal if you ask me, right? Once again, it's my opinion. I'm looking at this and I say, okay, so an individual builds a team to, let's say, 100,000 in sales and no one else joins, right? Maybe they don't have a larger network and that's just it. Your close circle of friends and that's all they're earning. Guess what? At a point, you wake up and your volume will be 300,000. Why? Every VIP 3, VIP 2, and VIP 1 will keep adding some of their profits back as reinvestments, growing their own capital, growing their own daily ROI to be a higher amount, and increasing your VIP rewards every single time that new money is added in every single time, right? So this was something genius they put in, and it's worked for all of us. It's been very good for all of us. They have higher ranks, VIP 9 star, 2 star, 3 star, right? That's for if you have directs or people in your team who achieve VIP 9 other than yourself. Now, and we're going to talk about incentives real quick, but this company is also launching their own token. Somewhere I believe by the end of the year, we should get a time frame for that. Currently, they are airdropping it to team members or to community members who are achieving certain goals and completing certain tasks. Okay. So once again, let's let people in if they're in the waiting room, right? They are completing certain goals and certain tasks. Okay. So once you do that, you get airdropped free currency. Okay. You get airdrop free currency. So they have other programs going on. So let me see if that's in this. If it's not in here, I'll have to explain it first. Okay. So how the token works is starting from today, right? And this is for people that are new. A lot of us, we've been in and we haven't got these kind of incentives, but a lot of the new folks, you guys are in for it, right? So as long as someone joins and they're new and they use your link and they start to earn, even though you're earning off the compensation plan, they will give you an additional 10% of what that person is earning in the AFX token. This is just an airdrop bonus. You can sell it back to the company, but it's not listed yet, right? So don't go online, go looking for AFX token and get scammed by some fake coin and say you bought the wrong thing. No, there is no token live. Currently, it's within the app. It's just an airdrop that's going on for people completing certain tasks. Okay. Now there's a team building promotion that's going on. If you're new, once again, this is for you. As long as you become a VIP one, $3,000 in sales. That's it, right? As long as you become a VIP one, just as simple as that, right? You now are eligible to collect $500 from this company. This is open to every single person. And this is why we really took interest in this company because, a lot of companies, they reserve certain advantages, certain bonuses for just the people who have a big network or famous or, stuff like that, right? Get all these deals on the back end and no one else, right? Benefits, right? But here they say, look, this is performance based. We don't, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, if you can do as described, the money is yours. And that has helped our team because now, you don't have the budget alone. Everyone has the budget. Everyone can win, right? So, what you have to do is you can put an event together. Now, this could be at a restaurant, right? It could be at hotel. It could be even in a garage. Something that you can decorate with their banners and flyers, right? And you have to record this to show proof and have people mention the name of the company and a few things. And guess what? $500 will be given to you the minute you produce $5,000 in sales as a result of your event, but they give you 3 days. 3 days, only 5,000 in sales, right? So out of the 20 people that come in, if everybody puts in what, 500 alone, that's 10 grand, right? So if people put in $200, that's 4 grand, and then maybe somebody else puts in 1,000, you already claimed the free money. Remember, you probably only started with $100 and only did 3,000 in sales, but you're collecting $500, right? So the next one is the global banquet, right? And just real quick, just want to touch on this so you guys can be aware that this company is really going through lengths to make sure they're growing their network and they're rewarding their users, which is what we want in any company, to be rewarded for your efforts, right? So here, once you achieve VIP 4 and above, you can host your own dinner parties, and we've seen people on our team do this, right? Almost every week or something. Dinner party, lunch party, invite some people, 30 to 300. They will pay you $300 per table. If you're a VIP for today, just know that you have $1,500 to claim. Just put some people together, feed them, take the cost on for yourself, and collect the funds after. You submit the proof, they send it to you instantly, right? Some countries where it's $10 a plate, right? So even at 30 people, that's $300. But you're getting one table for $300, 10 people per table, right? So once again, these are the incentives, and we all have friends. We can sit down, we can buy them something to eat, spend some time together with them. We have people we work with, right? Sometimes you looking for a way to, take money out of your own pocket, but here you're being reimbursed, right? So that's also going. Yeah, it's a lot of great things going on. If you want to open up a studio in your country for this company, they will do that. They will fund you $7,500 as long as you're a VIP 5 and above. That's almost 10 grand cash they will give you to open up a studio, your own office, and there are some incentives of $2,500 a month as long as you're meeting these requirements here. All of this material is available. Once you get started, we'll send it to you. Get with the person that invited you. They probably already have it as well. So guys, that's the entire presentation. Don't want to hold you back too long, but this is a fix. We want to go into the proof, right? Because the company has said a lot of great things, but can they show us, right? That's the very important question. Can they show us, right? And if they can, then we're excited.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so I joined on my phone. I'm gonna stop sharing here. But in between that, please, if you guys heard everything I said, if you guys were able to grasp everything I did share from the beginning, drop a 7 in the chat for me, please. Just drop a 7 in the chat, right? If we're able to get, okay, perfect, excellent. Thank you guys. So let me do this. Okay, go ahead and share on my phone. Okay, perfect. So what I like about this app, number one, it's user friendly, right? That is the main thing, right? You don't want anything complicated. A lot of times we hear about these companies and it's like, if you don't have somebody to hold your hand, you can't even use the application, right? It's very simple. You see the percentages right on the screen. The 1 year fund has produced 2.01% today. Once again, it's not a fixed ROI, but it always fluctuates a point 0.1 above, at worst, a point 0.1 below, right? So it's always within that range. Then the quarterly 90 days, you see the production, right? So when you click on any of these, it opens up the performance, right? Now, this is where they started to win our hearts. Holdings. How many times have you been in a company where they are transparent enough to tell you, we have your money in Bitcoin, we have this in Ethereum, we have that in Solana, and if anything happens with these currencies, we are trading these. 9 times out of 10, we never know what you're doing. All we hear is, oh, Bitcoin went left, right? And then that means, that's it. But here they're showing you how much of your portfolio is going into these assets. I like that, right? So I click on Bitcoin, then they will show you transaction history, profits and loss. People, not just profits, right? The other day, somebody sent me a company says, "Oh, their algorithm is so good, they're like at 99%, they never really lose." And I'm like, no, no, thank you. It's not even real, right? The market does not go in one direction. It doesn't even follow strategy or analysis, technical analysis sometimes. It just goes by the news, right? So you can't just say the market is always going to be great for any company. But here they show you. If they lose, they show you. And what makes their AI different is that even on days where the strategy or the market is uncertain, it does hedging. And we've seen it many times by just tracking all these transactions. It will buy going up and buy going down at the same time. So it would mitigate, it will lose money in the wrong direction because now the AI can figure out that, okay, that's the wrong direction and take profits on the other direction that is green. Not many people are doing this kind of trading. It's called hedging, right? So they're doing that as well. These are profit and loss completed trades, right? They show you the exchange. They give you all the data you would find on any exchange. It's connected via API. I'll blow your mind very soon. They blew my mind just recently with some new announcements. The next is current holdings. Okay, I'm going to move it from Bitcoin and put it on all currency so we can see any trade that's currently being done. This is live trade. This is when this is where you start to see that this company is really, really pushing it. They're showing you what they're doing, right? So they're doing a trade in Cardano right now. They're down $88, right? But guess what? I'll refresh the screen. Just watch this same trade. These are live trades moving with the market, right? So they show you all of that, all the different exchanges, all the different currencies, all the different profits, all the different laws. And whenever it closes, boom, it will show up right here. Okay, so that was exciting, right? Now, let me go back one step. This section, this is recent. Once again, all the new folks getting all the nice stuff, right? They decided to show more credibility by providing videos of some of their trading accounts, the ones on Binance. They will give you the timestamp. So this was recorded at 6/11/25, 8:06, even the time. Why are they doing this? They're telling you, go in here, watch the video, look at the trades. If you see $50 made at this time and $200 made at that time and $50 loss made at that time, come in the app with those exact timestamps and look for the trades yourself and confirm if what they showed you in their Binance account is not what you're seeing on the app. We didn't even have this in the beginning and we're already sold, right? So guys, there's a lot of stuff that is going on in this project that makes it easy for someone who, it's hard to make a decision on how to analyze any project. They are just giving you enough information that you can be able to make your own analysis. The last time I went on Google to take someone's opinion on what to do with my money, I don't even remember it. I don't do that. I make my own decisions from gathering multiple pieces of information. So I cannot be influenced by one person who sits down and says, this is good and this is bad. That's good for them and it's bad for them. What about you? What's good for you? That's what you think about, right? So for me, this was great for me, right? And this has been great for our community. All the information you will need is right here in the app, PDF, company registration. It's on the database, videos, marketing videos, promotional videos. Some people were invited to the company's headquarters in New York. Right, there's two separate videos of that, different people invited. You can see all the high-rise buildings when you watch it. This is downtown Manhattan. Guys, yeah, it's a lot of exciting things. All the railroads, train stations, and airports. They put all the videos there, right? You come here, your PowerPoint, you know, just even all the seminars they've done. And I like the fact that they make everything accessible right on their application. Once again, it's no website application. Now, there are certain countries that are not able to access the trading feature, right? This is the AI, right? We'll talk about the AI as we talk about the trading feature. So certain countries, the application is free to use, right? You can use this without getting involved in the trading. Right? What is this particular AI? Is a programming assistant. If you want to write code, if you have code you're writing that is there's a mistake and you want to fix it. If you don't know how to write code, but you want this thing to write code for you, a website, an app, whatever you're building, you can use Afix to build it. Don't take my word for it. Try it yourself and download the app. I'm going to show you guys real quick, right? So here we're going to say as an animation expert, help me create a window that shows a sunflower growing every 5 minutes. Just something simple. We don't want to, take too long here by helping me with the code. Okay, let me use helping instead of providing, right? There's a way you have to talk to AI, and you can always just watch a quick video on YouTube, give you an understanding of how to talk to AI to be having more efficient or effective, right? So I dropped this question in. Let's see if this AI can do it. If it cannot do it, it would tell us it can't, right? So real quick, we come up to the beginning and it says, okay, boom, create an animation. We're going to use HTML, right, to do all the basic stuff. So they write the entire code, width, height, everything. Everything is here, right? To do a basic thing that we ask, grow every 5 minutes. So the sunflower grows every 5 minutes. This code sets up a simple animation where a sunflower increases its height every 5 minutes. I can adjust the style, I can a sun, rain, I can do all of that. And when I take this code and put it in a server, it would be an entire animated image that I basically created without having any experience writing code. This is what excites me about this company. They don't have to give this service. Every other company says they trade, says they're AI, and you just go in there, put your money and earn. They don't have to do all of this. But for them to create, spend all this money and build this tech, it tells me they have a long-term vision. That's just my understanding, right? But once again, remember everything is a risk, so you always want to go in with your own strategy and you try to make your profits, make your capital first, and then you can do as you please, okay? Now, if you're in the US, Canada, Spain, I believe even Brazil, a few countries, right, where crypto regulation is still, still iffy. The UK just passed a law about a month ago to tighten up and have draconian US kind of crypto laws, right? So these countries, because they offer staking, right? We all know that every exchange was kicked out of the US for providing staking as well. And only Kraken and Coinbase have been allowed to provide that service as till today, right? Even BlackRock has to file with the SEC and the CFTC and wait for permission to offer staking on ETH and Solana, right? So there's a lot going on. So when it comes to staking, in these countries, you cannot access the trading feature unless you have a VPN, if you choose to, right? So some people have chosen to. Why? Because no one is paying 27% a month on XRP. So if I can get that here, what am I waiting for, right? So that's where we find most people using VPN. But if you're within other regions, it would tell you. If your region is allowed, it would tell you. If it's not, it would tell you. Okay. So that's everything, guys. That's the entire project in a nutshell. I'm gonna stop the sharing and then I'm gonna stop the recording. Give me 1 second to find that. Okay, so before I stop the recording, please, once again, please get with the person that invited you. They will send you a link. There's PDFs, video, just name it. Everything that you need on how to get started, how to be successful in this business is there. You have our contacts. Just if you know me personally, you reach out to me. Whoever invited you, please reach out to them as well. I'm going to quickly invite some people on here to share their own opinion, just let you guys know how it's been. We have some events coming up soon for our own team. We also want to announce that. So let me quickly stop the recording.